you can just go ahead and release yourself from the guilt of feeling like you need to be doing that every day with your kid. Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Holly. I am a pediatric occupational therapist and a mum. And today we are going to be diving into 3 things that I commonly hear parents thinking that they need to be doing with their kids that actually you don't. And the reason that we're diving into this is because next week, on the 21st until the 24th of June, I'm holding a free 4-day challenge all about what your children actually need to be doing within each of their days. We're going to be really looking at development holistically and seeing how you can support this like holistic development, really set your child up for success in life through your daily life without any big events or enrichment classes or extra costs, but just by building a schedule and a daily lifestyle that really supports child development. So I would love to see you there. You can find the link in the description box below, and we're also going to be having some really cool daily giveaways and prizes. So today, 3 things that you may have heard that you should be doing with your kid, but actually you really don't need to be doing this. Okay, and the first one is TV time. This might be surprising for many of you. I know a lot of people are anti-screens and don't allow their children to look at screens at all, but there is actually a big push within the child resource development space, or people that make apps for child development, that says that you need this app for your child. Like, your 3-year-old needs to be doing this writing on the screen or listening to these phonic sounds and repeating back. They need to be having an extra language taught to them via our app, because if they don't have it, they will not succeed in life. So I just want to tell you straight up, you can just release yourself from this pressure of feeling like you need to have some certain apps or these really strong development enrichment, and they have like all these weird terms that they put with them, but all of those kind of apps that are teaching writing, teaching letters, teaching your child aren't actually necessary if we look at development holistically for our children, especially in these little years, so 1 to 4. We know that it's not just about the academic skills. We're really looking that they develop well their foundational skills of development. So these apps, they may serve your family, you may like them, they may work in your daily routine, and that is fine, but you don't need to feel like you should be doing this. You can just release that. The next one is circle time. So circle time is basically, if you think of like a typical preschool, a teacher sitting with their children around, listening to a story, doing a song, talking about the weather bear and what day of the week it is. So many people bring this into their homes, especially stay-at-home moms, because it gives, firstly, some kind of like a structure to the day, but it also gives you that opportunity to feel like, okay, we have this family value of Bible stories, or we really are wanting to encourage our child in understanding phonic sounds. And you can feel like, okay, we did that today. Like, we spent that 20 minutes in the morning and that is done. And then we don't need to be chasing our tails trying to get it in for the rest of the day. And that's totally fine. But for many families, circle time or having this like really hard structure doesn't suit them. They don't feel comfortable in this role of teacher. They don't feel comfortable in this doing songs or having something like very structured. They enjoy having their day where they sing a song as they're riding bikes down the road, or they tell a story before bedtime, and that is totally fine. Your children, if they live in an environment that is rich in language, rich in play, rich in experience, they'll be getting every benefit of circle time within their day anyway. So if it's something that works for your family, you can totally do circle time. It can be a really beneficial thing for your family. But if it doesn't, just let it go. You don't need to do that. It doesn't mean that your child is getting the best stimulation just because you do circle time. If you can do it in other places and that feels good for you, then go with that. And the last one is social time. Now, I don't know, have you struggled with this? Let me know down in the comments below. Because it's definitely something that I struggled with when my kids were really young. There's this like underlying belief in society that children need social time, that they have to have a lot of time with friends, or that they will struggle to make friends later. Often this is seen with children that are more shy, that we feel like we need to push them into more and more social situations, or else their shyness will just grow and grow and grow. Now, while social play is really important, and actually there are developmental milestones that we look at in terms of how children play socially, we don't need our children to be spending the majority of their days within social circles. So where this comes up is that kind of decision: should we be sending our child to daycare or play school or preschool, or should we be keeping them home? Now, once they get to an older age, there may be many benefits of sending them to a more structured kind of schooling environment like preschool. But when they're little, they don't need to be having 5-6 hours of social time a day. 2 to 3 times a week of seeing children, of interacting, even if it's very much alongside each other and not in a together way, because as I said, this is something that actually develops. There are milestones that we monitor in terms of social development, but just giving them that exposure to other children a couple of times a week is great. They don't need to be with friends for the biggest chunk of their day. Especially if it's on the price of being away from a parent. So when we are thinking about daycare versus home, often one of the biggest considerations is that at daycare they would have more social time, but we do need to think of as well as at daycare they will have less time with their parents. So we have to weigh these two things together. Obviously, attachment is a baseline developmental structure that kind of every area of development builds on top of. So we really want to maximize and allow as much time with a parent as we can. And then with the social time, you can let yourself be a little bit more flexible in thinking about what kind of social experiences our children need. Of course, I'm not saying that our children should be at home and not exposed to other children, which unfortunately a lot of our kids are right now because of this crazy last year that we had. But you can release yourself from some of this pressure and try to find social opportunities, whether it be a park, whether it be a soft play zone, or whether it be a music group, or a couple of hours of a kind of preschool a week can be just the right amount of social time. So I hope that you found those helpful, and if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And I hope to see you at our free 4-day challenge, What Your Child Does Need to Be Doing Each Day, and you can find the link to sign up for that below.